Hello. And welcome to all you PMOs, PMEs, POMOs, POMEs, and Qs. Welcome to the world, the podcast where we discuss all things related to the process of waking up, walking out, and moving on from life in a Christian cult. I'm Dr. Ryan Lee, a former JW with a doctorate in clinical psychology and a practicing therapist specializing in helping former cult members move through the recovery and rebuilding process. All right. How you guys doing? Yeah, I thought instead of my usual talking about the retreat and blah, 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 I'm going to take 5 minutes and use this as my own personal therapy session. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a window into my personal life. I'm not sure if that interests you, but here we go. Oh, shit has been weird lately, man. Shit has been so weird. There's been so many amazing, beautiful, just earth-shattering changes and shifts, and I've just had this boost of creative energy. I've just really enjoyed it. And also, it's weird. It's just weird. You know, I've been doing this podcast for about a year now. I should probably check. We're probably coming up on the anniversary. We should do like a fucking thing about it. But yeah, I've been doing this podcast and getting a lot more people listening and a lot of positive responses from people. And then on top of that, I started playing around with social media and doing some fun things there. And there's this weird thing happening where I'm very aware of this character that I'm creating on the podcast and in the social media. Yeah, and I know I said I wasn't going to talk about the retreat, but it was interesting because some of the people on the retreat, Dakota and Vic, were listeners of the podcast prior to coming to the retreat. And I could feel that you have that weird sort of thing where they seem to know a lot more about you than you know about them. I was very happy that by the end of the retreat, it did not feel that way. But yeah, it was one of my first glimpses of like, people know a persona that I didn't even realize I was creating, but I guess here we go. Yeah, I'm coming to realize that this persona of like, Dr. Riley, what is he going to say next? Oh, he just loves the F word, just loves the F word. And that's not a typical therapist. Well, I'm thrown off and intrigued. Yeah, and you know what? I enjoy it. I enjoy that persona. It's really fun. It lights me up. It sort of gives me you know, I'll give you a little even more of an insight. When I am engaging in therapy, and now with the podcast and with other things, it seemed important for me to remember that I am stepping into a costume of some sort. I think it's a very benevolent costume. And this is one of the things that I learned from Diego, who is somebody that had a really profound impact on my experience through leading ayahuasca ceremonies. And I really admired him because he was very clear. He would say after the ceremonies, you know, all of the ways that I carry myself, all of the things that I wear, all of the things at my altar, the way I conduct the ceremony, it's there for a good reason. It does help create a container. But it is a costume, and it's one that I take off every night. You know, of course, the message being, take it seriously, but don't take me too seriously. Anyways, I always really appreciated that, and I liked that way of thinking about it. But yeah, especially with the social media stuff, there's this weird feeling slipping in and out of that character. And, you know, one of the other things that drew it to my attention was there's this funny thing where, you know, I'm getting so much feedback from so many different people that they're really digging the program and really eating it up, and they're finding the silly bits funny and endearing and all that kind of thing. But whenever I show whatever I'm doing to my friends and family, they're like, "Oh, that's nice. That's cute. That's cute." You know, and at first I was like, my heart hurt a little bit. I'm like, "Oh, you don't think this is cool? You don't think this is cool as I think it is?" But then I quickly realized, oh, it's fucking weird to know a person and then watch them do a bit. You know what I mean? Like, watch them be a character, and it's fine, but it's a little eye rolly for the people that know you the nearest and dearest. Anyways, thank you for making space for my ramblings, and yeah, I do feel a little bit better. And talking always helps for me. All right, moving on. So I've been wanting to talk about this one for a while, because when you leave a high control religion, you hit this weird, wonderful, terrifying wall of freedom. All of a sudden, Armageddon's not coming. You're not cramming every second of your day with meeting prep and personal Bible study and family Bible study and field service and meticulously scheduled self-loathing. That frees up a lot of time. And yeah, now you've got time. A lot of time. Beautiful, glorious, and sometimes gaping time. And in theory, you can do whatever you want. But the only problem is you have absolutely no fucking clue what you want. Because chances are good, like most of us, you spent the first 2 to 4 decades of your life being a perfectly behaved guilt puppet. Endlessly shape-shifting to match what other people wanted from you. And if, God forbid, a tiny little sliver of want bubbled up from inside of you, well, you fucking nuked that shit. You nuked that shit before it could form a complete sentence. And you got trained to see the whole entire world as not for you. That's for those people. That's not for you. Having a fulfilling life? Nope, that's not for you. Having an interesting career? Nope, not for you. You're interested in theater arts? How does that serve Jehovah? It doesn't? Well, then fuck it. So yeah, when you do get to ask the question, what do I want? It lands like a fucking existential crisis. Now, answering this question for each person requires a multifaceted approach. First and foremost, you need to have an experience that most of us were robbed of, which is the ability to create a period of time where you can just try out a lot of different things and have random experiences without the pressure of needing them to have a productive outcome. You try a bunch of random shit. You fail, you flounder, you flirt with improv. I've done that myself. I'm terrible at it. And yeah, I'm already on a segue, but like people do this and they're like, oh, I can't follow through with anything and there's a problem with me. No, there's not a problem with you. You're just doing a thing and getting the opportunity to do something that most kids get to do when they're young, which is just to play and mess up and screw around. And that's how you figure out what you like and what you don't like and where your edges are. Anyways, back on track. So today I want to zoom in on one particularly vile lie. It's this insidious idea that inhibits us from pursuing our passion or even just giving ourselves permission to trust that having a passion is an okay thing to have. But that's hard for us because we have been infused with the idea that doing something just because it brings you joy is selfish. Selfish. Ooh, selfish. 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 It's one of the worst things you can be in a cult. So yeah, let's run the list, shall we? Pursue a career. Selfish. Go to college. Selfish. Socializing with worldly people without sneakily planting a watchtower track in their bathroom. Selfish. Develop a creative hobby that doesn't directly further the needs of the cult. Selfish. But here's the thing. From their perspective, in a fucked up way, it makes sense. If you actually believe paradise is real, and you alone have the grandiose mission to save people from being obliterated by Jehovah's divine and extremely irrational judgment, then yeah, then of course, nothing else is really fucking worth doing. And imagine how you would feel If you knew that one person missed out on their ticket to paradise because you fucking decided to fuck off and read a book in a hammock one afternoon. So yeah, in that context, then yeah, what's the point of doing anything else with your time here? But we know, you know what, I don't want to assume. Just in case you weren't aware of this, I just want to inform you. That's all bullshit. I'm so sorry to break it to you. Yeah, we know there's no Armageddon. There's no paradise with cuddly pandas with harnesses that we can use to ride them around. That's a mode of transportation in paradise. And an eternity to just spend with the most uninteresting people. Yeah, you know all that's nonsense, but you still feel a pang of guilt whenever you do something for yourself. I can't tell you how many clients I've talked to who tell me about being uncomfortable and freaked out whenever they start accidentally experiencing moments of joy and happiness. They don't trust it. It feels strange and unusual and usually comes with guilt. Guilt about what? I don't fucking know. They don't fucking know. Just something wrong that I'm enjoying myself. Enough said. This deep discomfort with pleasure is a direct result of the cult's conditioning. And it is my goal to completely tear it the fuck apart and just shit on it in this episode. Yeah, so we're going to deconstruct and recalibrate our understanding of the term selfish. Now, before we do that, let's take a second to look at the counterpart of selfish, which is selfless. Oh, selfless. Oh, what a good thing to be. It sounds noble, right? He's so selfless. He's just always putting other people's needs first. It's like he doesn't even exist. I don't even notice when he's there. He's just absent from this plane of existence. And yeah, it's a nice idea, that we're surrounded by people who are all on the same page, and everyone is always focusing on others, and everyone gets their needs met by someone else. And somehow everyone has a way of apportioning out equally their care for others, so that everybody is always taken care of in the exact right amount. Sounds nice on paper, but here's the actuality of it. How many of you out there live in families where the majority always look out for each other? It does exist. There are healthy families, but I suspect if you're listening to this program, you do not come from one of them. So yeah, for you guys, how many of you out there exist in situations where maybe one or two of you live by this grandiose, selfless idea? And then the majority of the family either opts out of this idea, meaning that they don't step up, they let other people handle their burden, or they just actively place their problems and load on your shoulders. How many of you people listening are that person? The one that carries way more than your fair share. How do you feel about that? Are you filled with the glow of how you can just totally endlessly be of service to other people's needs and their bullshit? When I ask these hypothetical questions, I should leave a little room for the possibility where you're like, actually, I do. I really do enjoy. I can't. I'm sorry. I imagine most of you, what you're really feeling is some level of resentment. And that's fair. It's actually normal and healthy to feel resentment towards people that aren't doing their fair share or letting you carry more of their load than you really should be responsible for. But you do it. Why do you do it? Well, because you want to be a good person or a good daughter or a good son. And yes, you have this idea that, well, what is a good person? A good person is selfless. They have no self. They barely exist. And this insistent desire where we need to prove that we are, in fact, a good person to other people and to ourselves, it just keeps the wheels in motion for this shit show. when we're told over and over again about the joy of giving. But for the most part, when selflessness and self-sacrificing is always your first priority, it's rarely true that what you are actually experiencing is joy from that giving. More likely, what you're probably experiencing is the momentary validation from the pats on the head you get from other people, which again provides internal reassurance that I am, I am a good person. I'm still a good person. I'm still a good person. I know I need to keep proving it, but okay, for now anyways, thank you. You said I'm a good person, and I'm just going to trust that that's true for a minute. And yeah, the more selfless you are, the more people lean on you. You become the reliable one, the good one, the empty fucking shell that everyone dumps their shit into. And then you get to the point where you just quietly resent everyone anytime someone asks you a favor because they know you don't have the capacity to say no. You don't. You don't, do you? You can't say it. You can't say it. You wish you could say no, but you can't, and they know that, so they're going to keep asking for shit from you. Don't worry, we're learning. We're going to get better at that, I promise. Within the cult, they may frame this as a virtue, this selflessness, that it makes you a good person. But in reality, it's just the degree to which you are a mindless shell of a drone who can meet the needs of this soulless machine. But the actuality of the way this affects a person, the degree to which a person is actually selfless, is proportional to the degree to which they are also burnt out, empty inside, devoid of joy, and quietly resentful. Okay, so in short, selflessness, fucking bullshit. Next, let's get back to the sin of selfishness. Selfish! 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 Hold on. Let me do a little editing here. I want a whole panel of white wig wearing motherfuckers.
Oh my God! This is unacceptable! This is unacceptable!
You're a problem and I don't like it. You're selfish. Oh, but yeah, actually, before I even dig into selfishness, let me just touch on this other thing that cults use all the time, which is this slippery slope narrative. Basically, they do this thing where to keep you from fucking making a move in any direction, they will immediately jump to the worst case possible scenario and frame that as a very likely outcome. So you try smoking pot, well, then you're going to be naked in an alley blowing a raccoon for fentanyl. You listen to a little rap music, well, you'll be fucking smacking hoes and bitches, disrespecting your mom before the weekend. Oh, and if you miss a meeting, that's a slippery slope. Next thing you know, you'll be married to Satan with 666 tattooed on your forehead. And of course, God forbid you selfishly take the last cupcake for yourself. Well, that is a slippery slope, my friend. That is the first step to becoming a monstrous and narcissistic asshole who seeks pleasure at the expense of others. You don't want to be that, do you? I don't think that's what you want. That's definitely not what we want. Better get your shit together, man. All of this shit, it's not actually about keeping you safe and virtuous. It's about keeping you scared. Scared of yourself, scared of your needs, scared of your impulses, scared of your goddamn joy. I'll do a whole other episode on this, but basically the bottom line is there's a million different ways that they make you your own enemy. And if they do that, this is some fucking art of war. What is it, Lao Tzu? Forget the guy's name. If they can make you your own enemy, then they never need to even fight you. You will self-police. You will self-censor. And then you'll fucking self-destruct. Anyways, once again, I digress. Let's keep attacking this bullshit selfish idea. Now, to recalibrate our understanding, I would like to borrow a mindset from Ayn Rand, which she refers to as the virtue of selfishness. Now, hold on. Hold on. I know a lot of you out there like, oh my God, he's an Ayn Rand dude. Oh my God, this is fucking Republican-y, fucking fuck the poor sort of mindset. Careful, Ryan. Careful. Yeah, just to be super clear, just because I like a little bit of what Ayn Rand had to say about something does not mean I embrace her whole philosophy, hook, line, and sinker. But I do like her idea, particularly in reference for those of us leaving these cults, is in reclaiming selfishness as actually a virtue. Here's the idea. Being selfish or thinking about what your needs are is really about reclaiming the right to exist for your own sake. From her perspective, every person is morally entitled and in fact actually obligated to pursue their own rational self-interests, which means making choices based on what truly sustains and fulfills you, not what guilt or fear or groupthink is demanding of you. Rand believed that most of the so-called selfless behavior was actually dishonest, manipulative, or unsustainable. She argued that genuine generosity can only come from someone who actually wants to give, not someone who's coerced by guilt or dogma or fear of divine punishment. For Rand, selfishness in the rational sense means having integrity, owning your desires, taking responsibility for your own needs, and refusing to live your life as a means to someone else's end. Now again, I'm not saying I sign up for everything that Rand stands for, but I will say that when I left the Witnesses a year or two afterwards and I read Atlas Shrugged, holy shit, that book fucking rocked me, man. And again, I don't know the extent to which it applies to the general population, but for somebody who came out of a cult who was on the receiving end of this fucking bullshit selfless ideal, and it had literally dedicated an entire lifetime to just sacrificing my own needs for the needs of a cult. That shit hit deep. To really have someone say, no, you have a right. You not only have a right, but you have a responsibility to really take care of yourself. First and foremost. Now here's where it veers off, because I think maybe Rand might be a little extreme. And she'll just say, focus on you alone, period. Fuck everybody else. I'm not on board with that. But I do think this idea has some merit, especially for us former cult members. Because if we're really being honest with ourselves, everything that we do in one way or another is selfish. Why do you make time for your friends and your family, to help them and support them, as opposed to just randomly finding some person in Czechoslovakia? And because your friends and family are more precious to you than random strangers, then it is in your best interest to care for them and maintain those relationships. You're being selfish. Well, and some people might be like, well, I give to charity. That is the ultimate selfless act. Well, that's good. Please keep doing that. But why do you do that? I mean, for the most ideal reasons is because it lights you up and it makes you feel good to give. And I would suspect there's probably a little bit of you that's just enjoys feeling like a good person. Selfish. And even this grandiose idea from the witness perspective of trying to save the world, the ultimate selfless act. Let's just be real, man. We can't fucking beat around the bush. It's like, this is just so we can get entry into this paradise we've been hearing so much about. If you take that off the table, I suspect that you probably would not have much interest in saving anybody from shit. Everything we do in one way or another is related to something that we want for ourselves, and that's totally okay, man. The problem is when we deny the actuality of this and then get caught in the web of endlessly trying to maintain the appearance to ourselves and others that we are actually being selfless. It's fucking bullshit, man. It's not true. It's an act. We're pretending to be these pure-hearted martyrs while secretly hoping that someone notices our sacrifice and gives us a little gold star. And this causes all sorts of problems. The resentment and the covert contracts and the inevitable disappointment when people don't show up for you in the way that you have shown up for them a million other times. And here's the beautiful irony of the situation. Am I using that right? I was an English major and I'm 46 years old and I still don't quite understand when I'm using irony appropriately.
It's like rain.
Yes, thank you, Alanis Morissette. This whole bit is a bit ironic, don't you think?
Yeah, I really do think. It's like rain.
But yes, here's the beautiful irony. When people finally allow themselves to be selfish, when they rest, when they nourish themselves, when they pursue joy, they actually end up becoming the most generous version of themselves. I've seen it over and over again in my clients, and I've experienced this myself. You start putting your own needs first, and at first it feels weird and strange. And then gradually you get a little more comfortable with it. You trust that Jehovah isn't going to smite you because you took yourself out for an ice cream cone. And then, with a little time, you see people just start to smile and laugh more, and their energy gets brighter. And all of the trauma and conflicts that really weighed heavy on them, you notice they start to bother them a lot less. They don't think about them so much. They become less obsessed with what other people are doing or not doing with their lives. When someone is well-rested, well cared for, their emotional needs are met, they feel loved, especially if it's the love that they give to themselves, they start to experience more peace. And peace leads to joy. And joy leads to gratitude. And gratitude almost always leads to an authentic desire to give back. As soon as you get to the joy party, man, you want to just invite everybody in. And this is when people actually start to experience the true joy of giving that we've been told so much about, but never really quite felt. When your cup is overflowing and you're giving from that place, you're truly able to give without expecting anything in return. It's not about performance or obligation, but because you've got everything you need and you have more than enough energy for yourself. So yes, of course, now that we get a little joy in the bank, then let's spread the wealth. One of my clients recently who's working on this was noting how her husband is like a master of this. And I don't know, there was something where they were asking her husband to help them move or paint a house or something like that on the weekend. He's just like, "No, I don't fucking want to do that shit. I'm not doing that. I have definitive plans to enjoy my fucking weekend." And my client's like, wow, he does that so easily, and I have such a hard time, because I'm worried that if I don't help people out, then they won't think I'm a good person. And I asked her, and I'm like, let me ask you this about your husband, who seems very comfortable saying no when it doesn't work for him. Is this a stingy man? Is this somebody who actually never contributes anything to those around him? She's like, no, he's constantly doing stuff for other people. He's constantly helping other people out, and he seems to love it. And I'm like, exactly. Thank you. That's the shit. And look, like, even if they're not joining the Peace Corps, Peace Corps. There we go. I like the idea of the Peace Corps. just a bunch of rotting zombies trying to help the world. Yeah, even if they're not joining the Peace Corps, people who are really happy and love themselves inevitably bring something good into the world. Even if it's just their high vibes that lifts everyone's spirits in social situations. People who operate from that energy, they create things that bring true value into the world. Maybe they selfishly love spending hours creating art. Well, that's great. That energy gets transferred into their art, and then that art inspires other people. Let me share something else too. There's a lot of different areas that I'm good at or not good at, but the one area that I've been consistently pretty good at is as a therapist. But a lot of times people make these assumptions about why I do what I do. And they must think, oh, wow, he's dedicated his life to just doing good, to helping other people. And look, don't get me wrong. That's a very fucking cool secondary benefit of why I do this. It makes my heart very full and happy to think that anything I might be doing might be having an impact in a positive way on anybody out there. But that's not why I do it. You know why I do it? Because it's fucking interesting. I am endlessly fascinated, and I still feel giddy that I have this like backstage pass into people's minds. I get to really understand what's really going on, and I'm endlessly fascinated, and that is the reason why I do what I do. And also, I strongly believe that's the reason why I'm good at it. Because it's not coming from some sort of selfless ideal or self-sacrificing for the sake of others or whatever. No, I'm doing the shit that lights me up. And as an extension, it seems to be helping other people. All right, so to bring it all to a close. Way to fuck it up, Ryan. Way to fuck up the landing. To bring it all to a close, let me just be clear. I'm not saying fuck everybody, get yours, get money, get bitches, and telling everyone else they can just suck it. There, of course, is a time to care for other people. And there, of course, are times when you do need to put your own personal or immediate needs aside for someone you love. But if you've spent your entire life on the far end of the selfless spectrum, then you got to do a major recalibration. For a little while anyways, you got to let that pendulum swing all the way in the other direction. And just give yourself permission to be a little bit selfish, to take care of you. Do the shit out of the things that light you up. And if you're not sure what lights you up, then fucking prioritize figuring that shit out. You deserve it. You've put in your time. You got so much life robbed from you. You have every fucking right to take the time that you have left and make it yours. You deserve it, and it's long overdue. I like the idea of people going out after this episode. just mowing over old ladies to get to the front of the line. Swiping ice cream cones from little kids going, Dr. Ryan Lee said I deserve this. You know what, actually, before we move on, let's cue up a little music that completely just contradicts everything I just said. Oh, you know what? Oh, let's pull in a little Les Grossman.
We've been handed an incredible opportunity here, Peck.
The universe is talking to us right now. You just gotta listen.
Yeah. She hit the floor. Next thing you know, low.
This is the good part, Pecker. It's when the job gets fun.
Yeah.
Ask, and you shall receive.
All right.
You play ball, we play ball. I know you want the goodies.
Welcome to the goodie room.
You paying attention? Because I'm talking. She fine.
So good. It's so good.
That's how you're gonna roll. No more frequent flyer bitch miles from my boy.
Okay, maybe don't become Les Grossman with the whole thing. You know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna keep rolling with this song. This is kind of fucking dope. Say what you want. I could give a shit about Tom Cruise, but I could watch a whole mini-series on Les Grossman's life. All right. Time to say goodbye for now. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, you know what? Fuck it. I have been busting my ass on social media, trying to get likes and shares. And by the way, thank you for the people who stepped up to help share and promote this. I do appreciate any ongoing support that you guys want to give. But I'm just tired of just shilling myself out. Fucking like or don't like. Subscribe or don't. Who gives a shit? I'm gonna be selfish. I'm just gonna do shit that lights me up and shit that I find funny and amusing. And I don't give a fuck if you find it helpful. You know what? I hope you find it helpful. I don't give a fuck. Go fuck yourself. All right, that's enough for today. Until next time, remember, you are brave. You're strong. And you can absolutely do whatever the fuck you want, man. You just did hard time in a cult. Do whatever the fuck you want, as much as possible all the time. I mean, don't hurt anybody. Don't do it at other people's expense, of course. But yes, just fucking figure out what you want to do and do it. Okay? Just do it. I feel like Shia LaBeouf. Do it! Just do it! All right, and you, my friends, are not alone. I'm Dr. Ryan Lee, a former JW, the doctor in clinical psychology and a practicing therapist, and specializing in helping former couple, specializing in helping